Hello everybody, this is Kyle Speed 1 coming to you from the racetrack. I got a special guest that showed up this weekend. You might recognize it. Yeah, I have it in that inside lane with my throttle controller. And because this is a Mans Miniatures, I don't want to beat and bang it up a whole lot, so I keep the speed down a little bit on it, but I've had to do some work to it. And I'll bring it in. There she goes. It's a beautiful car. Highly detailed from Mans Miniatures. There's the driver's area. The driver even looks fantastic. Yeah. Highly detailed. Pricey. Pricey for me, but I think it was a well-earned purchase. Even the undercarriage is detailed and weathered and all that. Now I will have to tell you, I had to do some work to this thing. It chattered terribly. The gears were the issue. Now if you look over here where my finger's bouncing, my left, if you look up in there, there's a white nylon spacer that I've made in order to get the crown gear and the pinion gear to have the correct amount of mesh. Okay? And once I did that, it really did a great thing. I ran the car without the body on it on the track. Lifted up by one of these old tires. You know, I just put it on there and then set the rear of the chassis on top of it and let it run for about 30 minutes at various different speeds after lubricating and greasing up the gears. And you have to be careful with these little beauties. Some of the details, like that windscreen, you'll lose it real quick if you're not careful. Because it came off the rails down here at this corner and rolled, and it took the windshield off and it took the head of the driver off. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So you have to be careful with the details. And of course, if you got big fat fingers like me, you'll snag things. See, it even has the leather buckles for tying down the hood. Or I guess if you're a European, it's called a bonnet, right? And if it had a trunk, it would be a boot. Is that right? I think I've got that right. But yeah, Mans Miniatures, beautiful, beautiful little car. Really pleased with the detail. The colors, really pretty and nice to look at on the track. And that is the newest acquisition to the Kyle Speed 1 Raceway. Beautiful, beautiful little car. I also had to loosen up the screw for the guide to where it would move a lot easier. And I'll try to put that on there while I was doing it, and it ain't gonna work. But loosened up the guide. It was kind of stiff. I loosened up the front screw for the body, and I loosened up the rear screw for the body, and now I've got a little bit of float. Now, the next thing I discovered, because it kept coming, especially down here, it would gain all that speed down the center line, down the long straight, and it would come up out of the guide, out of the slot, and, you know, come off and hit the deal. Now, thankfully for me, the paint is robust on this thing. I can lick my finger and rub a little bit and get the paint off of these guardrails off of the car without causing any kind of a mishap or damage to it. But, and that guide seems a little bit, I don't know, seems a little bit thin, I guess. It's got quite a bit of slop. I might put a slot invasion guide under there and see how it handles after that. But yeah, I got it off of eBay. It's got a small, it's got a slim can motor in it. It's got a motor extension that attaches, the shaft extension attaches to the motor, and it comes back here to a gear, to a bushing, and then, of course, you have your pinion connecting to the crown gear. The parts on this car are pretty decent quality. I just had to tinker with it, you know. Had to add a little bit of lead weight here and here in order to get it to where it would stay in the slot, because this doesn't have magnets. And look how skinny those tires are. So most of the time when it's running at a certain speed, it'll just hit this corner and slide out just a hair and then keep on going. And that's where I've got it today. But it's going to be one of those cars where I will run it, I will play with it, but I am not racing it. I'm not going to race it. I don't want to hurt my baby Bugatti. It would make me cry. Nobody wants to see a 61-year-old man cry, right? So that's about all I got for you today on the Kyle Speed Raceway. There's the track again, in case you forgot what it looked like. I guess another update I can give you is I added some more details to the Ferrari 750 Monza. And it's the hood pins, and it's that rear view mirror. And I added the canopy, or the front windscreen deflector on it. I added those things. Now, I also readjusted the wheels to where they fit within the body correctly now. And I think that's pretty much all I did. And, I lowered the whole car down in the rear some to where it looks a little bit better sitting there. You know, it doesn't look like somebody's running around with a pair of air shocks on the back of it. If you know, you know, right? So that's basically the update I have for you today. I'll stop babbling and stop bragging. But yeah, there's the new Mans Miniatures Bugatti. Good looking car. And now that I've got it running the way it is, I'm happy with it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.